Can you hear me? Geppetto's puppet. We need your help. Ah, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Jiminy will restart soon.
I see they got Jiminy too. But we have to hurry. My name is Sophia. Please come to Hotel Krat, and I'll explain what's happening. Jiminy, please escort him to the hotel.
Screaming. Screaming. Okay, that ought to be up and running again. Okay. Yes? Yes, are we working? Yes. Okay, cool beans, cool beans. We're seeing signs of life here. Hell yeah. All right, goodness gracious. Frickin' OBS completely crashed on me. Very unfortunate. All right, next. Hold on. All right, select upper belt. I'll just select the first slot. Select lower belt. X to use selected item. Now is that okay? That's X on a Xbox controller, so that's going to be square. Hold on to activate the extra bag. Extra bag. Use items. Oh, okay. Last resort, no. Perfect temperature for me in November, Michael. Thank you for reiterating your question, because I definitely answered, though you definitely could not hear me when I did. Mid-50s to low 60s. Like a cool, but not bitterly cold. Goodness gracious, Michael. I'm glad that you caught that for me. I do appreciate that.
Safe. Arm yourself with one of the weapons over there.
Okay.
It'll be helpful on your way to the hotel.
All right. Path of the Cricket, which is balance. Path of the Bastard, which is dexterity. What hit today, Michael? Do tell. Path of the Sweeper, which is strength. Let's do this. Let's go with the Path of the Bastard.
Hotel Krat. Recommend escaping from this location.
Nope. Okay, that's my item use. $87, boo. No fun at all. I ain't here for it. Okay, so far so Dark Souls. And our dodge move. was restoring health, wasn't he? Sawtoothed wheel. Use the Legion arm with left trigger. '89 or 90 high. Ugh. Okay, so it's a forward roll. No, it's a roll when unlocked. Or when we're locked onto a target, it's a more distinctive, like, sidestep dodge type thing. I gotcha. Use a pulse cell to recover HP. There's a maximum times pulse cells can be used. When you reach the maximum, the cell will be discharged. If you attack enemies while the cell is discharged, the pulse cell will gradually charged. Okay. Again, I've played a teensy bit of this game, but only a teensy bit. And this is, of course, the closest that I will get to frickin' Bloodborne until Sony pulls their head out of their butts. Winter is coming. Okay, correct. So I can use my Legion arm, left arm of steel, to kind of stun, stagger, and generally harm. Ooh. Okay. Dim ergo fragment. And the ergo fragments are your souls, essentially. Well, ergo is souls, and like the ergo fragments are essentially like, you know, the soul of a fallen warrior or whatever. Like, you can use them to obtain more of your leveling juice. Guard. You can guard enemies attack by... You can block enemy attacks by guarding. If your guard is successful, your character will take reduced damage, but it consumes stamina. The reduced damage will be transferred to guard regain. Guard regain accumulates, but gradually decreases over time. When you have guard regain, you can attack enemies to recover HP. Okay. If a guard succeeds right before being hit, it triggers perfect guard. When a perfect guard is successful, you will not receive damage. Only stamina is consumed. You can use perfect guards to destroy an enemy's weapons or put the enemy in a staggerable status. Okay. And I know that Bloodborne... Okay. I know that Bloodborne kind of had that, like, aggression reward mechanic where you could regain health by attacking enemies, like, shortly after losing health. So this feels akin with that. We definitely did not do the perfect block there, but that's okay. Also... Okay. And that will recharge over time. Okay, so that changes our item selection. Right, button. You have to attack and then attack again to get the backstab, presumably. Hello. Like these guys with their little signs. Aren't there called like lollipop ladies in the UK because of the big round signs? Am I imagining that? I might be imagining that. Okay. And then we regain our health that we lost. Okay, so neither of those were perfect blocks. We regained a good bit of our health. We won't recharge our little thing until we're completely out of charges. And then we get, like... It's like the Disney Fast Pass. Once you use it, there is a regenerating charge that you get over time. I getcha. Well, not over time, necessarily. It's a lock device. There are doors and ladders all throughout Krat that are locked by devices. You can unlock these doors or go down the ladders to create shortcuts. Yes. This I am familiar with. And then we have what appears to be some kind of Baus. Hello, Mr. Baus. Evening, Governor. Hope all is well among the citizenry. Oh gosh, oh gosh. And oh gosh, that just left me completely out to dry, huh? Very unfortunate. Alright, yep. Okay, see, and we regained our health. I think we've got this, though, right? Like, ooh. Hold for a charge attack. While you are attacking, a white line will appear around the enemy's health bar. When this happens, you can make the enemy staggered with a charge attack or with Fable Arts. Okay, but he wasn't... Oh, I like that. It's an attack with a little built-in dodge move. That's useful. Now. Hell yeah. Okay, cool beans. Air of Fire destroyed or some nonsense, right? Okay. Now... Came from down there, and he was over here. Another sawtoothed wheel. Y'all, I took so many freaking calls at work today. Ridiculous. Average call volume is supposed to be 40 to 60 a day. I took 94 calls today. Ridiculous. Truly absurd. Apparently for my line of business, like, the other folks through the day averaged like 40 on average. I took 94. I don't know how I managed to do that. I don't know what gods I have irritated, but clearly I have. Oh no. Him's dead. This horse is very dead. Oh, goodness. Oh, hello. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, beans. I didn't frickin'... Now lying. I didn't frickin'... like, rest at the Stargazer or whatever. I didn't rest at my bonfire, so I didn't actually recharge my crap. Death Ergo. When your character dies, Death Ergo is dropped on the spot. Get back to your lost Ergo by retrieving this Death Ergo. If enemies damage you or kill you again before you retrieve it, the amount you can recover decreases. If you get damaged, it's reduced. Now that's interesting. That is very interesting. This isn't Dark Souls. You can't just hide behind your shield. You gotta be a little bit more deliberate and all that. Fable Arts. Use Blade Fable Arts while guarding. Use Handle Fable Arts. Okay. Weapons have distinct blades and handles that each have their own Fable Arts. Fable Arts use up Fable slots, and different Fable Arts use different amounts of slots. Charge Fable slots by attacking enemies with weapons. Okay. Cool. So we took damage, but we got it back. Do rather... I do rather wonder... Oop, hello. I legitimately do not remember what I was wondering. Oh yeah, I wonder if your weapon degradation resets at the Stargazers. Worth investigating, I would imagine. Yeah, we can destroy the benches. Get stomped on, benches. Press and hold to dash, yep. Yep, that I'd already gathered. Your boy's gonna get around with a spring in his step. Springs, gears, wheels, all kinds of stuff, honestly. Alright, sir. I wonder. Yeah. Now, if this was some kind of a Star Wars game, we'd be able to beam that straight back at his stupid head, but as it stands, we'll have to settle for just kind of going after him. Frickin' Pinocchio as portrayed by Timothy Chalamet. My goodness. Handle Fable Arts. So we block? Okay. Do we not even use our charge if we don't hit someone? That's considerate of you. Cool. Attention, dear citizens of... Dear citizens of what, pray tell, PSA lady? Hmm? Oh well, makes no difference. Fury attack. Some enemies become red. Oh, Siri, nobody's talking to you. Some enemies become red and use a strong attack called a Fury attack. You can't guard Fury attacks, but you can move out of the attack's range or counter with a perfect guard. Well, that's tempting. I don't even think I hit that fool. Yep. I reckon that'll do it. I went on a whole mental journey right there because I said Rickon instead of Reckon just because sometimes I mispronounce things for fun. And that took me off on a little mind journey, because I was thinking about Rickon Stark from Game of Thrones. I was like, did Rickon make it to the end of the season? To the end of the show? Legitimately had to think about that, which of course he didn't. If memory serves, he was killed by Ramsay Bolton. But the fact that I had to think about that really does speak to how truly trash those... last seasons were. Although the Battle of the Bastards was very cool, there's just... it was rushed. You know? Pacing problems, we're going to call it. Well, and how appropriate. Frickin' Michael made a Game of Thrones reference earlier, so maybe I've just got G-O-T on the B-R-A-I-N. Ergo fragment. I'll go ahead and use that pulse charge. Risking it for the biscuit. Stable catalyst. Okay. Ooh, that reminds me. Make sure our sword is kept well honed. No point in intentionally courting disaster. If we can kill it, we should kill it. Hello, sir. Oh, hell, frickin' Pinocchio's, Collodi was an Italian writer, right? Yeah, so I should be greeting this gentleman buongiorno. Ciao and such. Buongiorno, doggo. A fable catalyst. Okay, and that's it. That's it for me. That's all she wrote.
A powerful parade puppet is blocking the entrance.
Not a parade puppet.
So please, be careful.
Okay. Is that the frickin' blue fairy that's talking to me? Hello, sir. I wasn't sure if you were nice or not.
This is called a stargazer. A marvelous device the stalkers used in the past.
Warning. Puppet threshold exceeds danger estimates. Please reduce puppet numbers or reset danger parameters.
Gather ergo, clever one. This stargazer will make you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But the stargazer's strength doesn't last forever. So be careful with it. Hurry up and come to Hotel Krat.
Yes, level up. Here we go. Add ergo. When spending ergo to level up or making a purchase, held ergo can be used. Only the held ergo in the bag can be used, while the held ergo in storage cannot. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means. What the hell is held ergo? Right stick. Oh! Okay. This is what they mean. Okay, well that's convenient. Just cash in the, like, physically manifested ergo. That's good of you. Let's see here. Motivity. Guard regain. Capacity. Motivity. Technique. Okay, and then we level up. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm the parade master. I like singing and something. Marching? Marching the people, marching with people? Hard to say. The Krat Festival. I'm getting such intense Roller Coaster Tycoon flashbacks from the sound of that frickin' carousel. Thank you, bud. Honestly, you've done me a favor. Well, look at you with your enormous stovepipe hat. Ooh, hello. Okay. Ooh, that's not gonna be blockable, huh? Now, the last time I played this game at all, I did beat this guy, and I did make it to the Hotel Krat, but I think that was about as far as I got. Like, if I stream this for 2 hours twice, I will have gotten... I will have put more time into it collectively. I will have more than doubled the amount of time that I've put into this game, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. Guy is called the Puppet Master. Hell yes. That's my Fable art. Okay. Oh! Just taking off his hat and wig, so to speak. Oh, gosh. Can't block that. Oh, gosh. I also don't think that your dodge move gives iframes. Which is an unfortunate thing to have to face up to. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. He's just truly enormous, but you know. Ooh. Yeah, I think taking damage when you're in that, like, regain phase, I think automatically cancels out any potential regain. Which, you know, it's fine. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think there's iframes to be had here, my friends. Okay, hey! Recharge, baby! Hehehehe! Okay, you know what? For the first time encountering the boss, I'm gonna call that, like, a real success. Right? That's how we're gonna frame it. I actually feel pretty decent about that. I mean, God knows we used basically all of our ergo. If you die in a boss battle, well, that's considerate of you, game. Thank you. Now, I think we go and grind a little bit more. Maybe up, like, one more of our stats, yeah? Because this is the complaint that I've been having about something like, Hollow Knight. Not complaint, it's more of just, like, a gripe. Right? You don't have an option to just kind of, like, juice your stats, you know? Like, it's get good or get wrecked, you know? With no real kind of middle ground. Which is fine, it just doesn't work for my terrible old man brain. So we need, what, about 900 ergo, right? But we're like 620, so that legitimately shouldn't take very long. See, we're already getting a lot closer to where we need to be. This is not where we need to be. About to ask if we have a map, but I suppose you don't really have a map in Dark Souls either, do you? Just to kind of get by on actually knowing your way around a game world. Perish the thought. In this, the year of our Lord 2025? Oh! Well, that's a shortcut if ever I did ding dang see one. Ding dang dare see one. Okay, now let's see what we can... I'm confused by the Fable art on my block here. I really am. It is barely of consequence, but I wish I understood it, you know? Doesn't make too much of a difference, though. We'll figure it out. One way or another. Let's go ahead. We're gonna rest, we're gonna level up. Mr. Stargazer over here. We're gonna just up our vitality. Get a little extra health, why not? And make our way back to the Carnival Man. To our friend the Puppet Master. And, I'll take it from there, right? Now, conceivably... Gosh, I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, conceivably, we could, like, look up how our defensive art is supposed to work. Alchemist's hat, illusory emerald glasses, treasure hunter's mask. Treasure hunter's apparel. Okay. Amulets. Costume. Well, yes. As a matter of fact, I think I shall. Yes, indeed. What about my head? I think it's a little bit too much, if I'm being, like, 100% honest with you. Okay. Stab. Guard abilities. Crescent Glaive. Let's go ahead and sharpen this bad boy up. Alright. And conceivably, we could find ourselves with enough ergo to level up again when we get back to the boss fight, which, like, I'm not going to say no to. Oh, no? Yes, here we go. Okay. Shortcut. Well, we're gonna make a game attempt at the boss again. And you know what? If we have more issues, we can try to level up some more. And that'll be perfectly fine. Okay, and that does restore weapon durability, which is, you know, nice. Ooh. Oh my gosh, was that a perfect block? Or perfect guard? That was not a perfect guard. That was. Cool. Okay. Kind of like a grab. He's got a... goes down like that, we really should try to do some meaningful damage. You know what? I think part of the issue is... Ooh, I need to be better at the video game, as it turns out. That is part of what the issue is. I feel like I'm looking at this dude's health bar too much. Okay, now we go for that big maneuver right there. That was another perfect. Okay, when he has his little pull my head off tantrum, that's like a good opportunity to get some solid damage in. He also can just run away. Ooh, gosh. Here's part of the thing. I have no idea if having your blade, like your weapon durability fully charged, will improve damage. I can't imagine that it would. But maybe. Okay, so now he has, like, substantially more reach. Also, we're doing, like, way worse this fight. To the point that I'm thinking, like, we just kind of let him do his thing. Yeah, that's fine. First proper boss, and I am really, really killing it here.
Hello there. Welcome to Krat, visitor.
Thank you.
I didn't think there were any stalkers left to fight the puppets. You didn't hear? Figures. The whole organization fell apart. All that's left are wannabes and amateurs who think they can fight on their own. You ought to buy something while you're at the festival. You can't... Out here alone? You could use some.
What have we got? Electriv Blitz Abrasive. Temporarily imbue weapon with electric blitz. Special abrasive made by mixing electric blitz metal powders. Temporarily imbues weapons with blitz. Wise stalkers are prepared to face any manner of variable that comes up in battles. Abrasives are another weapon that can turn the tide on a constantly shifting battlefield. Okay. And these, I think, are the other, like, starting weapons, yeah? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's try to just, like, be good at the game this go-round. Because I've definitely beaten this guy in the past. See, I definitely should have hit him with my heavy attack there. But that's okay. So I feel like I'm doing quite well for this first half of the fight, at least. Just kind of playing keep away with my body. Okay. I don't think we need to heal just yet. I think we're okay. Okay, that's an unblockable attack. Not the Puppet Master, he's the Parade Master. Well, that's been the problem. I just haven't known who I'm fighting. Now that I know his name. Name it and claim it, baby. I got this in the bag now. Oh, gosh, that was the time to block. And this is now the time to heal. For sure, for sure. Okay, so I don't know how I did that exactly. Was it because I hit him with my frickin' arm? Oh, man. I felt like I learned something. Okay, but no. I think that went better overall. That's improvement, baby. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for improvement. Also, like, I'm an old man with bad reflexes, okay? Have you considered that? Have you considered that I'm an old man who does not know what video games are? Has that crossed your mind as a possibility? Let's retrieve our frickin' ergo, shall we? Before we lose it to damage. Hmm? And look at that. We're already so close to leveling up again. What do we need? We just need a little smidgen more health. It's literally all that we need. Now we head on back home. I say home. We head back to the general carnival words direction. And heal up, level up, do our thing. I'm determined to kill this thing before the evening is out. Right? I mean, like, we've been streaming for an hour. It's fine. We've got literally the whole night ahead of ourselves. I took tomorrow off, actually, just to give myself a little rest, which was more necessary than I would have thought. Yeah. Got the whole night ahead of us. So I think my little, like... my little hop attack, my kind of single tap heavy attack, I don't think that is viable for this fight. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. Oh, gosh. Maybe... we just get really good at guarding? Maybe that's the solution? Nope, clearly not that. I hate this phase of the boss, I really do. He's got so much more reach. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's actually gotten like as we're as close as we have been to killing this dude, and I'll take it. Ooh. Yeah, boy! Get stomped on, Parade Master. Ping!
Yeah,
I killed a thing.
good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, I am just now booting up for Fortnite.
Okay.
Do not stop your stream early for me.
Okay.
All nighters.
We got it. We were just hanging out on the bed for a while there.
I just want to be close to you.
I gotcha. That's very sweet. Were you watching your TikToks?
Yeah.
Good. Alrighty then. Onwards and upwards. Hell yeah. And our ergo fragments. Oh, look at that. We can level up like at least twice, probably more. Hello. Hotel Krat, the greatest luxury you will ever experience. Treat yourself to an unforgettable day.
Energy depleted.
Folks, give me just a moment. I'll be back in just a tick. I'm back. I am back, I am back, I am back. Oh, bye.
One more thing I should mention. Hotel security excludes puppets like you. So you'll have to lie to get inside. You're a special puppet after all.
Okay. Yeah, so this is literally, I think, as far as is just about as far as I'd gotten previously. I think I found Geppetto, but that was about it. Go ahead and take a pokey poke around. See what we can find. And at some point, I will give my thoughts on the new upcoming Steam hardware, which I'm very excited about. Particularly the Steam controller, surprising nobody. But let's go ahead and get through the hotel, do all this jazz.
To the sanctuary of the Grand Covenant. Prove your identity. Who are you? Grand Covenant's fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. Welcome to Hotel Krat.
Thank you. Ooh. An hour in, and we get our title. Our title card. Still a very peculiar name. Ooh. Opening cinematic and everything. Which actually means that I am going to blow my nose. Useful that when I remember that I actually do have a little mute button. Alright. So a world built on the backs of puppets, of robots, which are called puppets. But then, madness! A puppet uprising! A pup-rising! The Parade Master. That's the train that I arrived on, correct? But no, was I on a train? Hard to say. You don't damage the enemy for a certain amount of time. They will slowly recover HP. Okay, that's a good confirmation. I appreciate the information, game. The Blue Fairy. The Blue Fairy. I forgot about the sunglasses.
I'm so happy to see you.
Cool.
I am Sophia. I've been waiting for you. Searched all over the city of Krat to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto will have answers. But we have to find him first. He was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Krat is dangerous for humans. And that neighborhood is one of the scariest. Please find Geppetto on Elysian Boulevard.
Level up through Sophia using the ergo in your possession. You can increase your stats when you level up. Okay. But, like, we can also just level up at the Stargazers, right? I'm not crazy for thinking that. Very considerate of the game to allow me to upgrade rather than being... Like, I appreciate the fact that the game allowed me to level up before I fought the Parade Master. I think eventually I probably could have defeated him without having the level ups, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Up technique. Oh, hell yeah. Capacity? Yeah, let's go capacity. Why not? And Legion presumably is the power of your Legion arm.
Gemini is fine.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so calm. I'm no inventor, but perhaps I can fix him. Or perhaps he'll fix himself in time. Wait, take this pocket watch. Krat is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place.
Thank you.
Be careful. Clever.
Moonphase Pocket Watch. Pocket Watch imbued with mystical power. Something, something, something. Let's see what that says. Oh! Ergo can be used for other purposes. Hold on. Well, I do feel like I just kind of unnecessarily used... Oh, I feel like that probably could have been turned into some kind of an item. That's fine. It's whatever. I am distressed already. Oh, here we go. Good lord. Moonphase Pocket Watch. Pocket Watch from Sophia. The power inside this watch returns the user to the last Stargazer visited or to the Hotel Stargazer. Okay. Power of the watch turns back time to when the boy was in peak condition. Okay, so it's, delicate readjustments. Special device that releases all of the P organs' energy at once. That is upon use. Interesting. Well, now, if we have this thing, which is essentially a permanent homeward bone, then why... whatever. Makes no difference. Maybe it's a flavor thing more than anything else. Who is to say? I don't love the fact that I used my rare thingy thing. Oh.
I'll use my power to help you.
Whatever. Gosh, that's gonna distress me now. I gotta check this. I pulled the old Google window. Let's see here. Lies of P. Parade. Oop. Parade Master. Parade Leaders. Parade Master. Here we go. Not interested. Parade Master. Drops the Parade Leader's Ergo. Apparently it can be used to acquire some kind of boss weapon. 7 coil spring sword, a special weapon. Be disassembled. Leader's ergo. Okay, whatever. Potential cool weapon that we could have traded it for, but not the end of the world by any means. I can live with it. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Hello. Hello, madam.
Expected guests are welcome. Oh, I knew from the moment we met that you're Geppetto's puppet. He might have a few loose screws, but Geppetto's skills are undiminished. It's a shame. He took off, or if he doesn't turn up soon, we'll have to make a new coffin. Oh, it comes with a long story. Please find that old man.
His memory. Okay. One of these fools gives me the frickin' puppet string. It's like a little, like, combat grappling hook thing that you can use. I'm sure someone out there is just, like, aghast. Here we go. Hello.
I heard about you from Geppetto, but to see you in person... Wow.
Thank you.
You should take this. Geppetto...
There it is. There's the puppet string. Legion arm is a special equipment that is equipped on the left arm. Each Legion arm has its own combat ability. Legion arm can be modified into all sorts of forms. Modifications can be made using the Venigni craft machine.
The sound of it alone. That craftsmanship comes only from the hands of Geppetto. You must be something else. A custom arm from Geppetto himself is quite an accessory. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Eugenie from the Workshop Union. I know my way around weapons of all kinds. I'm sure Master Geppetto would agree. If any of your weapons need work, bring them to me.
Okay. Cool. Do you...
I know my way around a weapon. Want me to...
Great weapon. Weapon's attack power will increase when you upgrade the blade. Some blades can only be upgraded with a special moonstone. Hidden moonstone. Special attack. We'll hold off on that for the time being. Speaking of which... About to say, can I test out my weapon out here? So that is the charging attack. That is the charged attack. I mean, I don't hate this thing, honestly. It's kind of cool. But I think for now, I'll probably stick with the sword. Great fortune to all visitors, rest for travelers, blessings to all friends. Okay.
I'll use my power to help you.
Not necessary, madam. This is the back of the Hotel Krat, yes? So from here... From... Polendina. Who the hell is Polendina? More people I need to encounter. Hello? Hello? There's someone named Polendina I'm apparently supposed to meet. Locked tight. There's someone named Polendina I'm supposed to meet. Wait, is that the old woman?
Welcome to Hotel Krat.
You are not Polendina.
My name is Polendina.
He is Polendina.
To Lady Antonia. Please let me know how at Hotel Krat. Comfort and calm walk hand. Welcome to Hotel Krat.
Legion magazine. Polymer filling that activates a Legion arm's special ability. It can be implanted to charge the Legion rapidly. Polymer bullets that are used in Legion arms were developed in collaboration with Venigni Works. These bullets undergo chemical reaction inside the Legion arm to turn into different substances like fire, electricity, or acid. Fable catalyst. Sawtooth wheel. Cogwheel that is common sight in Krat. Be thrown to draw an enemy's attention. Even worthless items can become useful if you collect them. Everything became useful in battle in this paralyzed city. Okay. But yes, Valve is putting out some new hardware. Early 2026. Apparently. 3 new pieces of hardware. There is a new wireless VR headset called the Steam Frame, which is pretty cool. I wonder if you can stream directly from your PC to that thing. I can't imagine that the frame rate would be high enough. But that's neat. They are doing a new singular monolithic Steam machine, which is very interesting. I think that it is far better situated to succeed now than it was back in 2016 or whatever it was when they tried this the first time.
Hey, let's be more careful. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood. I hate these guys. But don't be alarmed. My name is Gemini. We'll talk later, when we're safe.
And, of course, there is the new version of the Steam controller, which I am very excited for. Out of pure curiosity, if nothing else, like, I was an enormous fan of the original Steam controller. I think it was critically underrated. Like, even just for its function as a normal controller. Like, I think it, as a normal controller, was perfectly fine. And with, you know, years of iterative design, like, everyone talks about how good the ergonomics are for, like, it's just how good in general control is on the Steam Deck, which I think itself the controls for the Steam Deck have a lot of DNA of the of the Steam controller in it. Oh, hello, lads. You headless ruffians. Ooh. Let's heal up, shall we? Yeah, I think that the
Elysian Boulevard was a regular rich people row. You wanted fancy boutiques and shops. No place better. But that was long ago, before the puppet frenzy.
Where on earth was I going with that? Yeah, I think that the I think the Steam control was unfairly maligned. I think it was too ahead of its time, quite frankly. The lack of a traditional D-pad and the lack of of two analog sticks, it only had one analog stick, I think was a little off-putting. Personally, I still think that it functioned quite well as, like, just a normal controller, to say nothing of the amount of utility that it introduced with those touchpads. Still, I think that I don't know, like, even in, you know, with the arrival of the, what, 8th generation consoles, the Xbox One, the PS4, I think kind of was a little bit the beginning of the end. But I don't think that the console market had degraded to the point that it has now. I think that the market is a lot more well primed for Valve to come in with a PC console hybrid, just because they've had so much more time to develop that idea, right? Like, that is essentially what the deck is, right? Like, it is a PC in the format of a handheld console. And, you know, there's all of these, you know, there's the Lenovo Legion Go, there's the ROG Ally, all that jazz, like, kind of got kicked off with the Steam Deck. And I mean, and arguably, you know, this notion of a handheld, you know, like, handheld as home console absolutely starts off with the Switch. I don't think, I seriously doubt that without the Switch, we probably don't get the Steam Deck, at least not within the same time frame that we do. I think that Steam Deck was the Switch was kind of a proof of concept. Oh, you're a tough son of a gun, aren't ya? Oh, I don't care for you one bit, sir. No siree, Bob. There we go. Interesting. That's the equivalent of like a Black Knight fight. I also think that folks are just going to be a lot more open for something different. You know? Especially with, like, Microsoft is already, like, making some weird moves as to what on earth the next Xbox will even be. Like, is it going to be a... Oh, come on! Is it going to be a PC, or is it going to be a home console? It's kind of up in the air. Like, there's this idea that it would... Here's the thing. If the next Xbox principally runs Windows as its main operating system, the new Steam machine might actually be a more streamlined experience specifically for gaming. Like, SteamOS is... It's sleek. I mean, SteamOS Thing 1... benefits from being Linux-based. It is lightweight. It's, you know, it's not going to have as much of the software bloat as something like Windows, because it's not trying to be a PC operating system. SteamOS is trying to be a gaming OS. Plain and simple. And it can focus its resources towards that end. I'm legitimately very cross that I died there. Oh well. Oh, hello, sir. Buongiorno! Buongiorno, Mr. DiGiorno. God, that's something that, that absolutely kills me at work. You know, I try to be, I try to be as understanding and non-judgmental as possible when it comes to medication pronunciations, because I am, and I will tell folks this, I am at the advantage. I get the, let's say, distinct privilege of looking at the names of prescription medications 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I get lots and lots of practice. I get 40 hours a week of practice saying these medication names. And people just... Oh, gosh. I literally walked right into that bullet. Very, very disappointing. Embarrassing, frankly. But some of the pronunciation... Like, one of the things... Like, people will just... Okay, so there's a, I don't know if it's a blood pressure medication. I legitimately don't know what metoprolol is used for. Bunch of people use it, but I could not tell you what it is. There's a medication called metoprolol. That's how it's pronounced. It's metoprolol. Fine. It's weird. It's, you know, it's unlike the kinds of words that you're going to encounter in your day-to-day. I hear it pronounced metoprolol quite often. I think that's how I started off pronouncing it before I was eventually corrected by, like, a pharmacist or something. That's fine. But people will just invent new letters in the names of their medications. Mounjaro is one. Okay, a Mounjaro is it's a GLP-1 medication. Same general class of drug as Ozempic is. It's like, you know, originally developed to help regulate blood glucose levels or whatever in folks, in diabetic folks. But, you know, has this miraculous weight loss properties. Well, that's going to have to be a heal, methinks. Sir, can you get down there? Can you get down from there? I guess I could have, like, drawn him into me. Or over to me. Not into me. Not in, just over. Just over to me is fine. But I will and it's spelled like Mounjaro. It's typically pronounced Manjaro. If you were to pronounce it Mounjaro, I would understand that. That's kind of how it's spelled. The number of people who pronounce it Mangiorno, like they're ordering a freaking pizza, is ridiculous. Like, there's not an N at the end of the word. There's just not. It's wild. Anyway. Oop. Now here's the question: Does tough boy McGee over here, does he end up making another appearance, or was he a one-off? He was a one-off. It's like a frickin' Black Knight fight. And recover my ergo. Couple of dudes in here, huh? Folks, I'm going to be back in just a tick. My ear is itching. I'm going to do something about that. Anywho, new Steam machine. Will I be getting one? No, because I already have a PC. And I have a Steam Deck. And my wife has a PC. And if I want to play something on the television, I would probably just hook up the Steam Deck and stream it from my desktop, right? But I think that there are going to be more people who will find an arguable use case for it, right? Gosh, that guy sucked. I did not care for him one bit. I don't know. Maybe I am overestimating the appeal of something that is essentially still a PC. Now, here's part of the thing. Here's actually an enormous, an enormous part of the thing. Because if you're locked into the Sony ecosystem, I don't think that you're going to be dissuaded from buying a PlayStation 6 or whatever. But for the Xbox folks, especially, I mean, what the new Xbox is going to be? What, they're going to be charging like $1,200 for it or something, or like $1,000, right? Like that's what they're, or is that like the? I know that like the price of the new Xbox things has been like a point of contention, concern, consternation, however you want to frame it. So if the Steam machine hits the markets and it's like $650. You know, you grab it, grab another, you know, put another $50 into games for the thing. Hell, if the thing launches with like $25 worth of Steam credit, or like, $25 worth of credit on the Steam store. I mean, even, I don't know, man, even just, ooh, I hate you an awful lot, sir, actually, as it turns out. I mean, you could buy, like, 2 decent, like, AAA games. And here's the other thing, right? When the original Steam machines launched back whenever it was, there was a big albatross around the neck of the damn thing, right? Which was Linux. You know, Valve was pushing hard to expand Linux compatibility. With the Proton compatibility layer in SteamOS, that's basically a non-issue. What's up, Anonymous? And yeah, so here's the thing, right? It's like Linux compatibility in and of itself is actually a non-issue because of the Proton compatibility layer. As I understand it, and I am not nearly as knowledgeable in this kind of thing as a guy like me you would expect to be, right? I know enough to get by and hold my own in conversation. Also, my health is so effing low. This is very bad. This is very bad. There's a distressing gentleman over there. No bueno. We could find... If we could find a Stargazer, or at the very least a shortcut, that would be like hella dope, you guys. There's not a frickin' Stargazer around here, so we're, at this point... Never mind your frickin' mollywallops. I'm like a light sneeze away from death. Very distressing. When rolled up newspaper from death. There you go. Bit of fall damage from death, probably. Thank goodness. There's a Stargazer over there. Ugh. Ooh, honestly. Hold on. Screw you, sir. Ah! Oh, no. Alright, let's at least choose somewhere dignified to die. Yep, no, that seems about right, actually. If I'm being completely honest with you, seems about frickin' right. We have our pocket watch! We could have gone back to the Stargazer! Oh my god, whatever, it's fine. Me, I'm fine. I'm enjoying it. I mean... like, I think we can all agree that what's his name? Hideki Miyazaki, I think. Ugh, I do not want to say that authoritatively. The fellow what created Dark Souls, right? Dark Souls. Let's see. Find out. Hidetaka Miyazaki. Okay, so I wasn't too far off. Not too bad for an idiot American, at least. Like, I think we can all agree that Dark Souls hit on something, like, really, really special in terms of its gameplay loop, to the point that, like, a well-executed version of that, like, is always going to be, like, some kind of base level of like, enjoyable and compelling. But no, I'm liking this. I'm liking this an awful lot. I think it's neat. Fortunately, I do have, like, 3,000 ergo out there in the wide world. It's a little distressing, but whatever. We'll figure it out. So as I understand it, this is insanely Bloodborne. Yeah. Yeah, that's the that's the sense that I've gotten. Basically, everyone has referred to this as a not only a Souls-like, but very much a Bloodborne-like, which is perfectly fine by me. Bloodborne always seemed like a super cool time. Now, granted, I think some of the appeal is just in the aesthetics. You know, that mix of like campy gothic horror with eldritch horror. But the gameplay here is pretty frickin' immaculate, not gonna lie. Come on, sir. Let's dance, you and I, shall we? There's a gentleman here with designs on my tender bits, but he shall not have them. No tender bits for you, sir. Okay, Tough Boy is gone. We don't have to worry about Tough Boy. Oh my... Okay, there's a teensy, and I do mean a teensy little... Is that even a shortcut? It is a shortcut. It is, in fact, a shortcut. Not too much of a shortcut, but enough of one that... You know, I'll take it. Close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. So as I understand it, I remember that Jacob Geller spoke very favorably of this game. And if memory serves, the particulars that he really highlighted were the Legion arm, which is currently equipped with the puppet string. That's your mechanical... I was about to say your robotic arm, but you're all one big robot, but you're more overtly robotic arm, I suppose. And then there is a mixing and matching of weapon hilt and blade that I haven't toyed around with basically at all, but I understand that that unlocks some fun gameplay opportunities. Speaking of which... But yeah, back to the Linux of it all. As I understand it, Linux, separate operating system, stuff needs to be built to work on Linux, right? However, in the intervening time, there is this thing called Proton, which is essentially like a software membrane between programs and the Linux OS itself. In this case, in the case of the Steam Deck Steam Machine, that would be SteamOS, the SteamOS distribution of Linux, that basically allows non-Linux programs to communicate with Linux. So a traditional Windows exe would be able to run on Linux because of the Proton compatibility layer. So this concern of like, hey, is this thing like, okay, let's see here. Translator, yeah, I've heard it described as like a software layer, essentially, or the Proton compatibility layer. But like, let's go ahead and check something here. Also, not gonna lie, the form factor of the Steam Machine, which I think looks like a very sleek bit of kit, not too far off from the computer that I built my wife. I think that the Steam Machine looks like it might actually be more compact. Let's see if I can actually get a sense of the scale of this thing. Okay. Well, from this image that I'm seeing here on Steam, if the Steam Machine is to scale with the controller and the Steam Deck, it'll be pretty small. I think it would probably be maybe about 80 to 75% the size of my wife's PC. But yeah, let me go ahead and search something real quick. Let's go for Shadow of Mordor. Okay, here we go. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Incidentally, fantastic game. Not currently on sale. You could pick it up for $20 right now. Right? And for another 10, you could upgrade it to the Game of the Year edition, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and compatibility. Oh, where can you see operating systems for things? Okay, well, let's go ahead and let's see if I can search this up. Anyway, whatever. In any event, I don't think that Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was ever originally made compatible for Linux. It runs on the Steam Deck just fine. On the Steam Deck, mind you, running natively, I might add. I know that folks have said, like, on high settings, it runs at about, like, 45 frames per second, which, that's not frickin' bad. If you put it to medium, at native resolution, it'll run at, someone is grunting over here, and I don't care for it. It'll run at 60 frames per second. Without issue. Now, I very distinctly tried to sidestep this gentleman, and it just didn't work. Very disappointing. Never you mind. Okay, there's a gentleman here as well. Well, that depends on what you mean by total acceptance there, Anonymous. If you mean total acceptance in terms of, like, most Windows programs will work on Linux through Proton? Yes, that is my understanding. That generally speaking, just about anything, you can get just about anything to run on SteamOS through the Proton compatibility layer without serious issue. Now, as far as mass adoption of Linux by the public, that's a little bit harder to say. But I think that Proton compatibility layer really will make the process of, of gamers adopting a Linux-based machine a lot more of a tolerable proposition, So there is the big bad Beetleborg right there. This real tough customer. And he is guarding my ergo. Ergo, I must defeat him. You see what I did there? Alright. Okay, okay. No, you make a compelling point, sir. Oh, but you know what we have? We have our Fable Arts. Okay, it would have been nice if, like, all of the attack had hit him, but I guess that's my own fault. Okay, you know what we don't need to do? Just be without a sharp sword mid-battle. Oh, gosh. Now, here's a question. Can we get here before Bad Boy does? We sure can. Hello, Stargazer. Gaze upon them stars. Let's level up. Let me go ahead and I want to look at this image of the frickin' Steam Machine again real quick. Assuming that this image is to scale. I mean, the Steam Machine appears to be basically a perfect cube, with all the sides the relative width of the Steam Deck screen, right? So, give me a second. I'm gonna grab the thing for reference. Basically a perfect cube, roughly the width of this thing, maybe a little bit wider, So we're talking a box maybe about, like, about that wide, which, like, on the one hand, not that big. On the other hand, I know the kind of performance that I've gotten out of my Steam Deck. And it's very impressive. Small form factor. Put it under your TV, set it on your desk, hide it under a banana. It's a powerful PC. It's powerful PC gaming packed into a roughly, 6-inch cube. Cool and quiet. Steam machines keep cool and runs whisper quiet even while running the most demanding games. I.O. for days. 4K gaming at 60 FPS with FSR, thanks to a discrete semi-custom AMD desktop class CPU and GPU. Available in 2 storage sizes. 512 gigabyte and 2 terabyte. That 2 terabyte is going to be the obvious thing to do. Both come with expandable storage via micro SD. I guarantee you could crack the thing open and and then store your own M.2 drive. But I mean, the micro SD is fine. Like, I have a micro SD in my Steam Deck. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive. Incidentally, I do wish that I'd gotten the terabyte version for the extra, $50 or $70 or whatever, just for the glare-proof screen. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Micro SD, in my experience, has worked just fine. Gosh, this thing really is going to be quite small, huh? I'm so... There's an LED strip, y'all. Keep tabs on system status, like download progress even when your screen is off. Customize it, the different colors, animations, or turn it off. That's cool. And it's a PC. Yes, the Steam machine is optimized for gaming, but it's still a PC. Install your own apps or even another operating system. Who are we to tell you how to use your computer? Hell yes. On the freaking screen there, it's showing someone like streaming. They're streaming Stardew Valley off of their Steam machine. They got the Steam controller right there as well. Oh, I think this is super freaking exciting. For me, I think that there's a lot of potential appeal to this. Again, especially for folks who are not locked into like the Sony ecosystem. I'm super curious as to what the price point is going to be. I think the price point is going to be what makes it or breaks it. And case in frickin' point. Okay, let me see what the Steam Deck is currently going for. All right, let's see what the one that I got was. Okay. So, the 1 terabyte OLED Steam Deck, $649, right? It's $650. I could legitimately see them. Gosh, that would have been a whole extra $100. I'm okay. I'm okay with the 512. The 512 is fine. I could legitimately see them costing it the same, right? Which would be insane, incidentally, because that's only $150 more than the new Switch, than the Switch 2, right? Switch 2 is $500, right? I don't think they sell the thing for more than $700. I really don't think they do. Well, no. Here's what I'm going to say. I don't think they sell it for more than $800. I think that $700 is probably the sweet spot. I think that $650 would be a miraculous number for them to put that at. I really do. I think that would be incredibly impressive. And I think that would, like, just like the optics of it being, of that number starting with a 6 rather than a 7, I think would be huge. I don't think they sell it for more than $800. I really don't.
Why, hello. I didn't know anyone was alive out here. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a burglar. I'm just crashing in an abandoned house for a while. Don't worry, I won't cause any trouble. We survivors need to look for your information. I didn't steal this.
Okay. Gemini's iron protection. That's electric blitz abrasive. I haven't gotten deep enough into this game to know what any of these, how I feel about any of these consumables. Ooh. Okay. Alrighty then. There's Stargazer. There's a big boy, Big Bo Stuffins over here. Let's deal with this fool. Now, Born Loser, I know that you and I have a coworker who has recently either begun the process or is, like, starting to at least consider, or has seriously, like, decided to go about getting a PC or building a PC. Because, goodness, I think that the Steam Deck is like the Steam Machine will be a really compelling offer for folks kind of in that situation. The other point that I was going to make, and I mean, I guess, you know, the Steam store page makes this point as well, that, you know, kind of, the potential for 4K gaming is there, at least with FSR, which means something. What on earth does FSR stand for? I'm sure it's one of those frame generation things. FSR. Meaning. The versatile acronym. Field Service Representative. AMD Fidelity FX Super Resolution. Let's go ahead and look at AMD then. AMD. Upscaling technology. Okay, so it's essentially not frame gen, but like NVIDIA's DLSS, right? Which when it works, you know, I'm sure that works just fine. Like I do not own a screen in my apartment that is more than 1080p. I think 1080p is perfectly acceptable. I'm sure if I spoiled myself with, like, you know, some kind of fancy schmancy OLED something or other, you know, 120 hertz or 144 hertz monitor with, you know, at 2K or 4K or something, I'm sure that the difference would be notable, and it'd be like, oh wow, this is great. I just think that you find yourself hitting diminishing returns after a certain point. It's going to expand developer access for PC. Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is I think, like, I have been consistently impressed with the hardware that Valve has developed in-house, of which I've gotten to experience 4 different iterations of, incidentally. I got the original Steam controller and the Steam Link. I thought they were very impressive pieces of kit. I really did. The Steam Link was super neat. Worked exactly as you would want it to. The Steam controller, obviously, I was an enormous advocate for. I think it was super underrated. I think that the Steam Deck, or the Steam controller, was very, very cool. It's also worth mentioning that even though both product lines, well, not product lines, but both products, the original Steam Deck and the original Steam Link, are both dead. You can't buy them anymore from Valve.
Something strange. Jeepers. Is that a butterfly? Why is the Ergo reacting like that? If you want to check it out, I can point.
Oh, that butterfly. I was like, Gemini, what the frick are you talking about, bro? Dimensional butterfly. Occasionally, a dimensional butterfly will appear in parts of Krot. Monad's lamp can detect the butterfly lighting up red to point out its location. When the character is near the hiding butterfly, it will appear. After a certain amount of time, the butterfly will disappear into another dimension. Kill it to get useful materials. Well, that's unfortunate. It just disappeared on me. That's fine. From an outsider's perspective, That one controller looked obtuse as all get out. Give me a second. Give me a freaking second here. Steam controller, my beloved. I still think this thing is so cool. I don't care. It's a funky little device. It's surprisingly comfortable. Like it's concave, right? So like your hands just kind of like your thumbs like sink down onto those trackpads. The position of the thumbstick and particularly the face buttons, I think leaves a little bit to be desired. I think they're a little bit awkwardly placed, and the fact that there's a second thumbstick there, well, I think it was a little bit of a concession to normality. I think that the final design that they ended up on is still like really, really solid. And this was my principal controller for the first time. This is how I got like through the first half of Dark Souls 3 was with this particular controller. Actually, I liked the thing so much that I ended up purchasing a second one when they were basically on a frickin' fire sale at the end of the hearing two of the biggest nerds I've ever met expressing to me the benefits of these controllers, and it's magical. Look, I'll say this, and my beloved Ping would say the same. Y'all knew the kinds of guys that you were marrying. Like, the fact that Bloozer and I are both enormous dorks, like, that was not a secret. This was not something being hidden. Okay. Oh, there's another one of my friends. One of the tough boys. Ooh. Ooh, gosh. Ooh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Okay. Motion controls, gyro, 4 grip buttons on the back. It's about the new one. Don't know what it means, but Bloozer sounds fucking stoked. As he should be. Oh, gosh. Okay, I vaguely remember that now. God, when this frickin' thing originally launched, I thought the back paddles were such a neat little innovation. And it's worth mentioning that the Steam Link and the original Steam controller, even before, you know, this new controller was announced, like, both things survived with a legacy of software, right? The customizability that you get on Steam for controllers originated with this thing. It originated with the Steam controller API or whatever. And the Steam Link's software was the original iteration, was the first iteration of the Steam Remote Play, which I have found to be an enormously nice feature to have. You know, and regarding this new Steam machine, I have seen the performance that you can get out of this frickin' handheld. And that's just me with, like, I'm not a frickin' power user. For God's sake, I mostly use it to play Slay the Spire, Balatro, and frickin' Stardew Valley, so I'm not exactly pushing it to its limits. But, like, there are graphics profiles now specifically designed with the, or, you know, kind of set up with the Steam Deck and other low-powered options in mind, so that you can play Doom Eternal, and so that you can play Cyberpunk on a handheld. That's ridiculous. So that's the kind of performance, that's the kind of games that you can run on the handheld version of it. Now imagine something, you know, the size, it's a half-foot cube. There's a lot of performance that you can pack into that. And the fact that it's being developed in-house, the fact that it is just Valve, I think means that they can be a lot more aggressive with their price points, same as they were with the Steam Deck. And it's worth mentioning that, like, there is not supposed to be this enormous gulf of performance between the original LCD model and the OLED model. And the not even, I don't even think it's the barest bones. Yeah, the 256 gigabyte LCD model you can get for $400. Right? Like, that's, you know, the battery is not quite as good. And obviously the screen is, you know, is not, the display itself isn't as good, but, you know, still, it is a portable gaming PC for $400. That's ridiculous. And it's something that you can hook up to your television. It is something that you can play basically every Steam game that you own on it. Like, gosh, the argument for consoles is, I feel, is just kind of deteriorating. Like, the argument for buying an Xbox over a PC, I cannot fathom, especially with something like this new Steam machine. Like, as far as Xbox versus PC, unless you are, like, unless your entire reason for being is the arrival of Grand Theft Auto 6.
Like we used to. Who is it? Is that you, Murphy?
Hello, Thomas.
Oh, I guess not. Sorry, I thought you were my friend, Murphy. Murphy's a super cool police officer. As a puppet, even the petrification disease can't get him. I wish I was like him.
Interesting. Ooh. Yeah, at this point, like, unless, like, your entire reason for being is the arrival of GTA 6, I cannot imagine why you would buy, the next Xbox over,
We could play together like Murphy.
the new Xbox over just, like, a PC or a Steam machine. I mean, Sony is getting increasingly open-handed with their releases in terms of exclusivity, although frickin' Bloodborne remains exclusive to the frickin' PlayStation, but whatever. I mean, any game that launches on Xbox basically launches day and date on PC. The only like company with like really compelling exclusives would be Nintendo, and even then, like if I were to get a Switch 2 tomorrow, it would just be to play Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. That's it. And, like, Nintendo doesn't have exclusive rights to that style of open-world game. Like, I can boot up Elden Ring whenever I want. You know, I know that the folks what did Palworld, their previous game was, like, very Breath of the Wild inspired. I know that there's that, that Ubisoft Phoenix Session Rising something. It's that, like, kind of Greek mythology inspired something or other. You know, there's kind of a Breath of the Wild-ish. Like, I think things are looking bright for Valve. That's all I'll say. And again, the other two pieces of specifically Valve-developed hardware that I've gotten to enjoy were the Valve Index, their first completely in-house developed VR headset, and of course the Steam Deck, which is freaking miraculous. And the fact that it is being developed in-house, they can kind of go after that really aggressive price point in a way that they couldn't when they were working with hardware manufacturing partners, right? And I do think that this is going to be about where I leave things off. Especially because my voice is utterly shot today. I don't know what's going on. It's because I'm excited. It's because I'm shited. I mean, as the store page itself says, you can install your own, if you want to install Windows, if you want to install a different version of Linux, if you want to, presumably, if you're particularly deranged, if you want to install Mac OS, I'm sure there's some way of pulling that off. But out of the box, it's going to launch SteamOS. And out of the box, with an internet connection, the Steam Store will be just a couple button clicks away from the home screen. And because of that, Valve gets to, with their new hybrid console, they get to behave, they get to price the thing like a console manufacturer. Because they know if they sell, if they manage to sell 100,000 units to people that have never owned a PC before, but are a little bit tired of the existing consoles and are looking for something different, especially if the price, which is all the more likely if the price point is good. That's 100,000 new customers who are going to be buying stuff on Steam. These are going to be folks that will, will wishlist items on the Steam store, and then suddenly they'll get email updates when those items are on sale, that they'll see that the seasonal sales are going on. They'll load up the store and they'll start making those impulse purchases because, hey, it's this game that I've been after. That's only $5. And, let's say that Valve gets, a fifth of that or whatever. or 2/5 of that maybe, you know, for every impulse purchase like that across those 100,000 new customers, that's, you know, almost $250,000, you know, that they would not have had before. You know, like, the ability to convert folks into PC gamers who will be purchasing things on Steam is, allows them to be aggressive with that price point, you know. That's my point. And Lord knows, I've purchased things specifically because I own a Steam Deck, right? Like, I've specifically gone after things because I've looked at them and thought, that would be great to play on deck. So yeah, I think the future is pretty bright for Valve and for Steam and for PC gaming in general. I think that this new wave of hardware is, I think it's super, super neat. I really hope that it works out well for Valve. And, like, I am going to break my years-long hiatus and make, like, a traditional edited video just to review the damn Steam controller, because I have to. All right. Yeah, absolutely, Born Loser and Anonymous. I've got to be going anyway myself. My throat is literally getting sore. But, folks, thank you all very much for watching. I am Ned Finn, and until next time, goodbye forever.